You're listening
You're listening
You're listening
to another episode
of the Fresh Takes
podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Fresh Takes podcast. And all three of us are finally back for the first time, I want to say, in November. I'd say I don't think any of our videos this month has had all three of us in it, unless you count your top fives whenever we all make an appearance. Or your top tens, I mean.
No, I think let's see. I wasn't here last week. The week before you weren't
I
here.
wasn't. I think the
And
week.
then the week before that was Pat was gone. So yeah, this is the first video this month.
Well, actually, no, I think that week we were all here. Let me just look at our channel real quick. So last week it was me and Pat. The week before that it was you guys. The week before that it was the mid-season awards. So we were all there.
Oh, November 7th show.
Yeah, because we had the quick recap and then we had the mid-season award. And then the week before that, we all three were back. And the week before that, it was when I was by myself.
Ah.
So, but I mean, it feels like it's been forever.
It really has.
But we're finally back.
So before we even get started, Pat, can you tell us a little bit more about your shirt?
Well, let me get the whole outfit out of it. Okay.
All
I
right.
wore this little safari hat because I knew I'd be on an adventure. Being an Eagles fan with last night's game, seeing how you were messaging the group, so I already know what to expect in a little bit, and I'm ready. And as for this, I am Knuff, and that is for my boy Kenny Pickett, because without Matt Canada, Steelers got 400 yards of offense. First time in over 50 games. He is Knuff. He is not the problem. Matt Canada was.
I would say, I don't even know if that was really Kenny. It was more of Najee, but we'll get into that later.
It was Kenny.
So, we'll just jump into it. We had the Thanksgiving games. We had 3 games, Packers and Lions. Packers come out on top 29-22.
Yeah, what happened to the Lions on that, you think?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I was not expecting the Packers to actually come out and look good.
You know,
I was hunting. I didn't get to see that game because I was hunting.
It was a Thanksgiving game, and it was the Lions.
Say it was the curse of Thanksgiving.
Well, didn't they do like a little not say curse, but like a little thing that when there's a waxing gibbous that
oh yeah, they have
the
never
Lions
won.
always lose.
They have never won during that.
So I mean, I guess we can call it a curse.
I mean, I usually lose when I wax my gibbous too. So
Jared Goff had 3 fumbles in that game.
Yeah, it wasn't. They did not look good.
No, that was the biggest problem, was the fumbling.
Yes, from the highlights I saw, it was bad.
Yeah, because Jonathan Owens picked one up and returned it for a touchdown. But I mean, Jordan Love had a good game.
I mean,
yeah.
Go ahead, Pat.
I was just gonna say he made some nice looking tight window throws and looked solid the whole game. He didn't just show glimpses. He kind of had a complete game.
Oh yeah, I mean, I saw that the very first play of the game, he I don't know, I forget how many yards, but he went for Christian Watson on the first play. So I mean, and honestly, my opinion, for you to be able to beat the Lions, you have to strike first and you have to strike big, and that's what they did.
I will say that David Montgomery, since coming back from injury, has had a rushing touchdown every single game.
Okay.
I mean, it's only been 3 weeks, but he's had a rushing touchdown in every single game since coming back. Against the Chargers, against the Packers, and against the Bears.
Well, you see, wasn't it Jamal Williams in that system last year that turned out like 400 touchdowns?
Well, that's because anytime they were in the 10-yard line, they only ran it to Jamal Williams. David's getting like 20 to 30-yard rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
But all right. After that, we had the Thanksgiving afternoon game, which was a complete blowout. Cowboys over the Commanders, 45-10. Deron Bland breaking records.
I was gonna see what y'all wanted to say because I know I wanted to talk about Deron Bland, but I didn't know what y'all wanted to talk about.
Deron Bland now holds the records for most pick six in a season with 5.
How many do you think the guy can get?
I think he has at least one more under his belt this year.
I was gonna say he has at least one more, maybe 2.
I hate to say this because, Pat and I's friend is a Bills fan, but I think he could definitely get one against the Bills. Because Josh Allen is a turnover machine.
There will be an opportunity.
Honestly, looking at their schedule that remains, I honestly think he could possibly have 3 more. I think he could do it against the Bills. I think he could do it against the Lions. And I think he'll do it against the Commanders again.
Who else do they play? What are the other teams?
Seahawks, Dolphins,
Seahawks,
and Bills.
We got Dolphins.
Oh, and Eagles.
I mean,
because this week we have the Seahawks, and then we
Thursday.
and then we go Seahawks, Eagles, Dolphins.
No.
Seahawks,
Eagles, Bills.
Oh, I thought it was Dolphins, then Bills.
Seahawks, Eagles, Bills, Dolphins, Lions, Commanders. So that's looking like 5-1, 4-2 for the Cowboys right there.
Hey, I'll take a 4-2. I mean, of course I'll take a 5-1, but I'll definitely take.
I'm saying 1-5.
No, I think that they lose to the Eagles and potentially to the Lions.
But no. They will not lose twice to the Eagles in a season.
No, I was gonna say we will win the Eagles game.
No, yeah. It's a Sunday night game. That's when Dallas kind of chokes.
No,
can't do it. They can't lose twice to the Eagles, regardless of what their record will end up.
No, I think that a Sunday night against the Eagles, they're losing, especially because it's at home. You know how they are at home.
Yeah, we're really good at home.
I'd say no. I can't lie. You guys are 5-0 at home right now.
I was going to say we're really good at home.
Don't you spread false narratives, Tim?
Well, right now,
according to our fans,
according to ESPN, Dallas has a 63.5% chance of winning that game. All right, you want to hear the matchup prediction?
Go ahead.
A 63.5% for Dallas, a 36.5% for the Eagles. So you know what that comes out to?
99.7.
So there's a 0.3% chance it ends in a tie.
Oh, yeah.
I do not want that.
Speaking of tie, there was nowhere close to being a tie. The Niners beating the Seahawks 31-13. This is so that means Dallas and Seattle will be playing Thursday night 2 weeks in a row. Well, I guess Dallas was Thursday evening.
But still, I mean, we'll take. It's still a Thursday game.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Is he still a good quarterback in your mind, or is it just the team around him? Because we saw what it looks like when he didn't have Deebo and Trent, but now that everybody's healthy, they're winning again. Is it that they're not playing good teams? Or is it that, Brock's actually doing good? I think Brock's just an average quarterback.
I don't want to say he's the great, but I don't want to say he's. I think he's a little bit more above than average. You want to
I
say
think.
just go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say. I think that Trent Williams helps that offense run how it's supposed to with um, run scheme and all that. With the offense running like it's supposed to, it's easier for Brock Purdy to do what he has to. So with Williams back, it helps Purdy out a lot. And obviously having a weapon like Debo back will help any quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, if you want to say an average quarterback, just hypothetically speaking, 1 through 100, 50 being middle of the pack, I'd say he's probably about 70% to 75%.
The way I'm looking at average is I'm listing the 1 through 32 quarterbacks right now.
All right. So if you want to look 1 through 32,
I'm saying
I'd say
he's top
I'd
15.
say he's top 15.
Say 2,871 yards, 19 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
I'd say he's probably top 12.
Right now, he's positioned 10th in fantasy football.
So I was close to it.
Well,
said
I
top
mean,
10.
fantasy you can't really count because, I'm not putting Josh Allen as a top 5 quarterback right now. And
Oh, no.
he's number 1 in fantasy, but that's because he runs.
Well, he does have the most passing.
Does he? Is it not so Sam Howell?
I don't think so.
No, it is still Sam Howell with CJ Stroud right behind him. And Sam Howell goes on bye this week, but so does Josh Allen. So Stroud could potentially take over first place. Which we all were saying about A.J. Brown and Tyreek Hill going neck and neck. Brown has now dropped to 4th in most receiving yards.
Yeah, 2 slow weeks against good schematic defenses. Nothing to worry about. He's still the number 1 receiver in the league.
Can you all say who number 2 in receiving yards is? I bet none of you know it.
Number 2 in receiving yards.
Say everybody knows who's number 1.
I would think Tyreek.
Can you give me
Tyreek.
AFC? Can you give me AFC or NFC?
I mean, I
Or
don't
would that
really.
give it away?
I mean, it won't give it away, but I mean, wanted to see if you can guess before I gave you hints.
I'm gonna guess CeeDee Lamb.
No, CD's 3rd.
That's who I'm going to guess. Is CD.
CD's
That's
3rd.
who I was going to guess. So
Right. Well, it's an AFC.
AFC.
Say 1 and 2
Travis
are AFC.
Kelce?
No. 1 and 2 are AFC. 3 and 4 are NFC. And I don't even know who the 5th one is. Also NFC. The 5th one is Amon-Ra St. Brown, just under 1,000.
I would, like I said, I could guess Travis Kelce, but I don't know.
Evan Ingram.
Huh?
Evan Ingram.
No. Their team is 4 and 7.
AFC 4 and 7. Chargers are 4 and 7.
Titans. Oh, is it Keenan Allen?
Keenan Allen.
Okay.
Hey, we helped each other out there, Pat.
My next clue is going to be their quarterback has a broken finger.
Broken freaking.
But all right. After that, we had the very first ever Black Friday game. Dolphins on top 34-13 over the Jets.
Yeah, before we get into that game real quick, I wanted to ask you all, what's your all's thoughts about having 3 games on Thanksgiving?
I mean, I don't mind it.
I only like 2. I like, and I think there should only be 1 Thursday game through the whole season. Just my opinion. Go ahead.
I don't mind having it then. I mean, with working on Thursdays now, I don't get to see any Thursday games, but I don't mind.
Did you at least get to watch the Black Friday game?
No, I had to work.
They didn't play that during.
No, and I didn't even get why they didn't play the Thursday night game because it was NBC. It wasn't Amazon. But, the Black Friday Amazon Prime game, they didn't play that either until after the game was over.
That's stupid.
Well, it's because they play NFL Network on the TV, and NFL Network doesn't play the games until after they're over.
True.
Which I don't know why, but. So, in that game, we had Dolphins blow away the Jets, and Tim Boyle's start. Do you think they're rocking with Boyle next week? They're gonna switch back to Zach?
No, they will never go back to Zach Wilson this year. They're
done with Zach.
But he got sacked 7 times. Like, it's clearly not all Zach. That offensive line is garbage.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But I mean, he also threw 2 interceptions and fumbled twice.
Do you really feel that if Rodgers makes an actual comeback, do you think you legit had an Achilles injury, or do you think it was some miracle that he was able to recover that quick?
I mean, you can get a Achilles injury and recover a little bit quicker. It just really depended on how bad it was.
But the usual minimum time off is at least a minimum of 6 months. He's 3 months off?
Again, it depends on how bad it actually was. If it wasn't a complete tear, then it doesn't take as long to heal up. If it was a complete Achilles tear, then he'd probably be out longer. He might have still had some tendon together.
I don't know. I think it's a fluke.
I don't think it's a fluke. I think he's trying to rush it, and it's going to end up hurting them because he's going to try and go back in there. They're going to win 1-2 games, and then he's going to get re-hurt and then have to go through a bunch of stuff during the offseason.
I say just take the rest of the season off.
I mean, that'd be the smart thing, but we're talking about people who just want to play football.
No, I get that.
Speaking of people that just want to play football, unfortunately, Frank Wright won't be watching football anymore on the sideline. Panthers lose 10-17 to the Titans, and Frank Wright was released this morning.
Deservedly so.
I say, Pat, you and I last week said that we thought he was the next one on the chopping block.
I mean, but last season, Tim, you and I said that he is not a head coaching material coach.
And that's what Pat and I said last week. We think he should just go somewhere and be a coordinator. He's not a head coach.
So, where do you think he goes?
The couch. If you get fired as a head coach 2 years in a row, I don't think any team's looking at you to come coach for them anytime soon.
Not even as a coordinator? I think he goes to high school. And he starts his way back up.
He maybe will be a coach at a high school or a D3 college or something like that, but he's not going to be stepping into the role of Boston College's head coach next year or something.
Oh, no.
I honestly think if he's smart, he just takes a year off himself. I mean, that's what Kingsbury did. I bet you Kingsbury comes back next year as a coach. I actually miss Cliff Kingsbury. I think he was an amazing coach.
Wasn't bad. But how did
Oh, he's QB coach at USC. I didn't even know that.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I thought Cliff Kingsbury still wasn't doing anything. But hey, there you go.
So
I guess we'll find out the true potential in Bryce Young now.
We'll see. I still don't think he's top tier quarterback.
All right. And going off of true potential, since Pat said it earlier, and while he's wearing his shirt, the Steelers win 16-10 against the Bengals. Kenny Pickett, 278 yards, but no touchdowns. Matt Canada gone, first game without him, and the Steelers get over 400 offensive yards.
And my prediction is coming true. They're going to Super Bowl.
There's one thing in that game that we really need to discuss.
Which go ahead.
What do we all think about Deontay Johnson?
Well, oh wait, what? I'm not sure what you're referencing either. To be honest,
Did
That's what
you
I'm saying.
not
That's why I'm
see
like-
the play?
I think I missed it.
Remember, I only had one game.
Okay,
I was watching while
I didn't
at
know
work.
if you guys saw the highlight. Okay, so Jalen Warren fumbled the ball, and the ball rolled across Deontay Johnson, and he started walking back towards the sideline and didn't even go after the ball.
Oh.
And then when the Bengals picked up the ball, he didn't even try to tackle anybody. He continued to walk towards the sideline.
Wow.
I thought that you guys had seen that. That was probably like the worst play ever.
No, I did not see that.
They said last week that apparently him and Minka Fitzpatrick got into it over the playing. So I think Deontay has kind of just given up on the Steelers at this point.
He's not.
I mean, what's the Steelers record?
7-4. They're still doing good.
They just need to win 2 more games to finish above 500.
Hey, if they win out and Ravens lose out, Pat was right
What?
about them being first or second in that division.
Well, they'll finish second because I hate to say it, the injury bug has just hit too hard in Cleveland. There's no holding hope to my bet anymore. I was holding on to hope.
Yeah, what was that Cleveland had to finish first?
Yeah,
they had.
They were going to be
His and my bet was that Steelers or the Browns win the division.
Okay, I thought it was Cleveland had to finish first or second.
No,
But then I couldn't remember if it was one of them had to win the division.
Yeah, one of them had to win a division, and I said,
Steelers could still win it.
They got Baltimore's got a 2-game lead on them right now.
They got 2 games, but Baltimore has the Rams, Jaguars, Niners, Dolphins, and Steelers. And then the Steelers have.
I mean, it's possible. Anything's possible.
The Steelers have Cardinals, Patriots, Colts, Bengals, Seahawks, Ravens.
Still pretty easy. Okay.
If I'm thinking it legit is going to come down to that last game.
Oh yeah.
Could you imagine?
I think that they will both be like a tied record, and it will come down to that game. Or even if Baltimore wins that game, but they have a tied record, I guess Baltimore would lose because Steelers have more divisional wins at this point. Because Baltimore lost to the Browns, and they lost to the Bengals, and they lost to the Steelers. Wait, where is that right? No, they beat the Bengals both times. They lost to the Colts. I was going to say, I thought that they beat the Bengals the first time. Because that was when Joe Burrow was still hurt. But, all right. Falcons on top of the Saints, 24-15. Falcons now lead that division.
I was going to say, who do you think is going to win that division?
I still want to say it's the Buccaneers, but the Buccaneers are kind of giving it up.
I think it's Bucks are dead. The Panthers, of course, are dead.
I think the
And
Saints are dead too.
So
Falcons might
this
be
is
dead, but
this is the only reason I say the Bucks though, because they got Panthers, Falcons, Packers, Jags, Saints, Panthers. I think they have the easiest schedule out of all of them, and they're only back one game.
but the Falcons, I think Artie Smith realized he's on the hot seat and said, "I'm going to use all my stars."
Never mind, because you got the Falcons who have Jets, Bucks, Panthers, Colts, Bears, Saints.
Yeah.
give
me the Falcons.
I'll take Falcons.
Well, hold on. Let me look at the Saints. Panthers.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, hold on. Here's the Saints: Lions, Panthers, Giants, Rams, Buccaneers, Falcons. So I think we can count the Saints out.
I'm still taking Falcons.
You know, here's what I don't get though. They said that the Panthers are officially eliminated from playoff contentions.
Yeah.
But isn't it if the Saints, the Bucks, and the Falcons all lose out, the Panthers and win out, they could still win the division.
What is their?
They're 1
So
and
they've
10.
only got-
If they win out and they all lose out, they're going to be 7 and 10.
But they can't all lose out because they play each other.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so. Okay.
Well, if they all tie out, and
Oh my gosh. That would be some weird crap.
I know. I mean, you got to expect that the Panthers are going to win next week because, you know, every time a head coach gets fired, the intern wins.
Right?
I think
They play the Bucks.
Yeah,
I
they
was
play
gonna say,
the
I think
Bucks
the-
at 4:00.
Oh yeah, give me the Panthers. No doubt.
that makes it what, 2 weeks in a row
For what?
for the Buccaneers to lose?
The Bucks are on like a 4-game losing streak, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Well, they didn't lose. They didn't play week 11.
Oh, they lost to the 49ers and the Colts. They're on a 2-game losing streak. If it wasn't for the fact that they beat the Titans, they would be on a 7-game losing streak right now.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because they went on a 4-game losing streak, beat the Titans, and now they're on a 2-game losing streak. And then they have Panthers.
I mean, they lost
Falcons.
27-20 last night to the Colts. So I don't know. Buccaneers just not. This isn't Buccaneers.
Hey, good transition. Yeah, Colts are winning. Are now what? They now jumped into the wild card spot with the Bills losing.
I'm pretty sure they did.
Yeah, with the Bills losing, the Colts are now in there.
Look at that. Who you talking?
Yeah, if you look at it, yep. Oh wow, Bills dropped to 10th.
Oh wow.
Say Colts are in at 7,
Wow.
and then you got Houston, Denver, and Buffalo.
Which Houston, I mean, they made a small game about it against the Jaguars yesterday. Even though they lost 24-21, they made it close.
Time, yeah. And if you think about it, the Bills have the Chiefs, the Cowboys, the Chargers. I mean, I think the Bills lose the next 2, but they could potentially win out against Chargers, Patriots, Dolphins. And if that's the case, then they go 9 and 8.
Still don't make playoffs.
But I also feel like, you know, the Chiefs have been kind of struggling a lot lately. Bills could squeak a 10-7, but I mean, even at that point, Houston, I think, could do it. Cleveland looks like they might sneak in, even with how bad their injuries are.
I mean,
I know I would really have to sit down and just break down everybody's schedule, which I don't have enough time in this podcast to do.
oh man, we don't.
No. We got
Well,
2 more 1:00 games, and I'll just go ahead and say this one because it's the worst game, and we can just quickly blow past it. The Giants win 10-7 against the Patriots.
Why don't you want to talk about your Giants? Y'all won.
Because it was a terrible game. There's
It
no
was.
way that it should have been a 10-7 game. I don't know how the Giants pulled out this victory. DeVito, he's an okay quarterback, but like they need to stop doing quarterback design runs for him. He can't run, and he doesn't hold on to the ball.
It was pitiful. I texted you yesterday when I was watching the game. I said I don't have any other game except for Giants and Patriots, and I was bored. I was
Yeah.
legit bored of that game.
It was a boring ass game, and it only picked up after Mac Jones was benched,
At
which
halftime, which I was going to talk about that.
the
Jones
Giants
was
had like 4 dropped interceptions, so Mac Jones should have thrown like 5 in that game.
yeah. So I mean, Jones went 12 for 21, 89 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, compared to Zappy, who was 9 for 14, 54 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 1 interception.
I mean,
Who do you
Zappy
start?
went 5 for 5 to start out the second half.
Who do you start with going forward?
Neither. I try and see if I can get one quarterback for 6 more weeks.
Carson Wentz.
I don't know. I think at this point they just stick with the run game. I mean, I know it was against the Giants, and that's why they ran so well against them. But the run game is what's helping them.
True.
But that's really all I can say about that. The Giants should have went into overtime, shouldn't have won that game, and if I'm being honest, our offense still looks terrible.